Welcome back, everyone. Today's video is gonna be great. This video, I feel like I should have done it a long time ago, like like months ago. So I know, it's craziness. So we are just gonna get right into the video. So this week's video is gonna be about Finnegan. He's sitting right here, so I'm just gonna point down. It's gonna be about Finnegan, how I got him, the journey that it was to convince everyone that I needed a dog, convinced everyone that I wanted a dog, and for the people who said yes, which was literally no one in my life, maybe besides Sarah. So props to you, Sarah, because you were literally the only person who was like, yes girl, get a dog. Props to you. But like, yeah, so the journey of what happened, because I looked at, I know, we're gonna talk about you. Are you excited? I initially looked at 1, 2, 3, 5 dogs, and it's kind of a little bit of a bumpy ride, so let's just get right into the video and I will explain everything that happened. So let's do it! So it was probably around November 20th when I said to the universe, I want a dog. I want a buddy, I want a friend, and I just want someone who will love me as much as I love them, and I love puppy cuddles. So clearly that was not okay for literally everybody in my life, because literally everyone said no. But that's okay, because no wasn't in my vocabulary, so I just went along with it anyway. So it was probably November 30th when I started looking for dogs. And I didn't know what I wanted, what kind of breed, what gender, how much I wanted to spend. So it was kind of just like a yes or no. It was kind of like a Tinder situation looking for a dog. So I was like, guess I'll start on Craigslist. So I started my search on Craigslist, and if you are ever looking to buy a dog, look on Craigslist. There are so many between like older, younger, like middle breed, so many. So I wanted a puppy, and I know that I wanted a puppy because who doesn't? So I found a dog and I was like, oh, he's in Courtenay, how convenient. So I messaged the breeder and I was like, hey, I'm interested, when can you meet? And it was a Saturday, and I said we could meet on the Sunday because I was busy that Saturday. I think I had to work. And she was like, oh yeah, sure. And then she messaged me later saying, sorry, someone picked him up this afternoon. Again, a little disappointed, but like finding a dog, that would have been golden. So like, yeah. Anyway, so then it gets real good. So then I started I kept looking on Craigslist, and I found this golden retriever named Morley, and I was like, okay, you're cute, and like golden retrievers, I say one now. So I messaged him, and this is where it kind of gets a little bit wonky, so like stay with me. I messaged the guy and I was like, hey, I'm interested in your dog. And he was like, oh, perfect. And like, I should have known, because this guy was super friendly, and he called me like dear and sweetie and like hun, and like I just thought, okay, maybe he's older, because sometimes not to this, but sometimes the older generation calls us like dear and sweetie and honey, which is not a bad thing. I love when a grandma's like, oh, it's okay, dear, and I'm like, So then I was fine, and I was like, he lived in Halifax, and his name was Filiberto. So right then and there, I was like, Filiberto. That just not to be mean, but that does not sound like a white person's name. So that's fine, whatever. Just keep that in your back pocket. This is still not the story. This is like the pre to the story. So he sent me a bunch of questions, like we were chatting over email, and I still have the emails. Put them like here or here so you can see them. But we were emails, like just asking me like questions about if I was a breeder, have I bred, do I know about dogs, like normal, like, hi, I'm giving you my dog, and like, yeah. So I sent him back an email, answered the questions, and he's like, okay, so I'm in Halifax, and clearly, like, I'm not coming all the way there, and you're not coming all the way here, so I'll put the dog on a plane to you. And I was like, okay, my aunt did something like that and it worked out for her, so why not, you know? So then I was like, perfect, like me, literally red flags everywhere, He was like, okay, just send me your name and your address and like all that information, and so it's gonna cost like $200 to get all the paperwork and all that stuff, and then $250 for the flight itself. So $450 altogether. And I was like, 450 bucks for a dog? Hell yeah. So I was so into it. Like literally, I was so excited. I was going down to the pet store, buying everything. Like, I was so excited. And everyone was like, are you sure about like this person? Mostly Dakota, because Dakota's a smart person, and he's like, this sounds like a scam, don't do it. And I was like, what do you know? Like, I don't. So I kept messaging him, and so the paperwork had been done and it had gone through, and then I was like, okay, perfect, like let me know like when the paperwork's done, like don't worry about it. So then Filiberto didn't even tell me that he had finished the paperwork. He said, okay, I had dropped the dog off at the airport and it's ready for you. And I was like, are you kidding me? I don't, like, okay, so then it gets even more twisted than that. So he said to me, okay, here's the link for the website. You just go on and you can pay online. And I was like, perfect, so convenient. I'm gonna get a dog. I'm gonna go pick my dog by the airport. I'm so excited. So then I clicked on the website and it was like, oh, sorry, our website's down right now. And I was like, scam? What? Anyway, so then I was like, me being like the little innocent girl skipping over here, I was like, nah, maybe, the website's just down. It's fine. So I emailed him back saying, hey, the website's down. What can I do? And he was like, oh, the flight registration stuff for this little golden retriever. And it seemed suspicious and it seemed not real, but I was like in the mindset of I want a dog. So I'm going to do whatever possible to get this dog. So I went on the website and I was like, oh, I'll call them, because it said like in one section of the email that the secretary's name was Lisa Wolf Fries. Yes, you heard it, Lisa Wolf Fries. Okay. So then I was like, okay, perfect. Like, there's the secretary's name, here's a phone number, I'll give them a call. So I called them and I was like, waiting, and then some person picked up. It was in Halifax, keep in mind you, so it was very like, I thought maybe because Halifax is way over here and we're way over here, so like the self-distance between there wouldn't have been very good. So I was like, oh hi, is Lisa Fries Wolf here? Like, I just wanted to like clarify that I'm not being scammed. Okay, so like, remember when I said that Lisa Fries Wolf and Filiberto were like, didn't sound like real names? Or they sounded like real names, but they, like, Filiberto did not sound like a white, that sounds so bad, but like, he just didn't, you know what I mean? So, I figured by his name he would have an accent. So, this person on the phone who I'm looking for, Lisa, sounds like he has a heavy East Indian accent. So at this point, I'm like, can't find Lisa. And he literally said on the phone, oh, sorry, Lisa's on her lunch right now. And I was like, when will she be back? Like, I need to speak to Lisa. What part of that don't you understand? So, waited for Lisa. Lisa never showed up. I was like, okay, this is probably a scam. So then I'm like, this dog is like waiting for me at the airport. If it's not a scam, there's a puppy waiting for me. If it is a scam, there's no puppy and I'm just gonna be sad. So like, I didn't know what to do. So I emailed the person back. I was like, hey, I tried to call, didn't answer, like, what do I do? And he was like, oh, well, there's like a payment thing on that email I sent you. And I was like, oh, okay, like just wanted to check it out. So because of the website was down, I had to go to my local post office and pay for a dog at a post office and send my money to some person who is not Filiberto, who's not the pet company, some guy named David. I was like, this is so sketchy, but I was like, there could be a dog because there was photos right now. So like, there is a dog, but I don't know. It didn't look like, it looked like a Google search image of a dog. You know what I mean? Like when you Google dogs and have this like the green back, that's what this looks like. So I was like, hey, can you please send me more pictures of the dog? Like, I just want to show my family. And he's like, oh, sorry, he's already at the airport waiting. Like, I can't send any more photos. But he's perfectly safe, and like, send me pictures when you get him. And I was like, just like pending payment. And I was like, I did a bad thing. I just left it. I just stopped immediately and was like, I do not trust this person, and I'm not gonna spend $450 on someone I do not trust. And at this point, I was not having it. So I carried on. So then I started looking. So after that, I did not trust anybody who was outside of the island. I was like, I'm not going to like the mainland to get a dog because 1, gas, 2, ferries, 3, expensive, plus I'm spending all this money on a dog. So I was like, nah. So I had to be on the island. So as I went through that process, I kind of like picked and chose what I wanted for a dog, but I still didn't know if I wanted a male or female. But I know that I wanted like from 500 to 1,000. So I went on anyway. And then I started looking at a female black lab who was in Powell River. And pictures right there. So cute. And like, she was in Powell River, so she was a lot closer. The lady was super open to literally all of my questions. And I was like, I'm still looking, but like, I'm super interested because, oh, sorry, but Finnegan's here. I'm super interested because black labs are hecking cute. So she was like, okay, perfect. Just let me know by like Thursday so I can, if you're not interested, so I can like keep trying to like sell her or whatever. And I was like, okay, perfect. So then I found another dog on Craigslist, and it was a black Rottweiler. One was named Barbie, one was named like Russ or something. And they were also in Halifax. And I was like, I wonder if this is the Filiberto guy. It wasn't, don't worry. So I was super interested in them, and they seemed a lot better than the other guy that had Morley, the golden retriever. But I was still like, nah, don't trust anyone who's far away. And plus, these dogs had to be sold as a pair. So I would be getting 2 dogs that were Rottweilers instead of 1. It's like, that is craziness. No. So then I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to Powell River and look at this other dog. So I was all set to go to Powell River, and I was like perfectly ready to set and go to Powell River on the Thursday and pick up this dog. And then I got an email, and I was like, oh, okay. And back at the beginning of the video when I said this breeder was in Courtenay, and I was going to go look at him on Sunday and then sold, well, that lady, that breeder, messaged me and said, hey, the guy who bought this dog can't take care of him anymore. And I was like, oh, how could you get rid of a dog? Like, that hurts my brain and makes my heart ache when someone's like, I'm selling my dog, or I'm getting rid of my dog because I just can't take care of her, don't have time. I'm like, then why did you? Emotional damage. So I was like, okay, perfect. Like, I will go, give me his phone number and I'll let him know that I'm interested. So I texted the guy, and he was so nice. The dog in Nanaimo was Finnegan. His name wasn't originally Finnegan. His name was Spud, or Bruce, or like Pine or something like that, because he liked the forest or something weird. And I was like, nah. Anyway, so long story, the guy he owned his own business, so he would be out. He would leave the house at like 5 a.m. to go work out till 7, and then he would work all day till probably 6:45, 7, come home, make dinner, play like video games, do whatever, and then go to bed. So, and then the only reason he got him was because he had a daughter who wanted a dog, but his daughter would only come every second weekend. So it's kind of a lot of work for like a daughter you only see 4 days out of the month type of thing. So like I said, like I've been saying through this whole video, I didn't know that I wanted it. Like I know that I wanted a dog, but like I wasn't living on my own. Like I wasn't living where I am now. I was working at Ardeen and Courtney. I was going back and forth between Dakota's and my dad's, and I was still at the barn. So I had a horse at one point. So Ulan, if you want a story time for that, just let me know, because it's a whole other story. But I didn't know that I know that I wanted a dog, but I didn't know that I was ready for a dog, because that's a lot of responsibility. And plus I didn't feel like I had a home. I felt like I was traveling up and down the island so much trying to make everyone else happy when I didn't have a home of my own. So, and I didn't want my dog to be living in a car, you know, like I spent like 95% of my day in the car, driving from the barn to my dad's, to work, to home, to the barn, to Camp River to see Dakota, then back to Courtney or whatever. So like I was all like back, up, down, side, left, right, down kind of place. So I was like, I don't think I'm ready for this, but this was the dog that I originally wanted, and I was so excited for when I first found him, because he was in Courtney, so he was so close I didn't have to travel anywhere because I was living there. So I think that I should just stop doing that. I think that I should just bite the bullet and go get him. So, well, most people I feel like don't know when I went and got Finnegan that I didn't know that I know that I wanted him, but I didn't know if it was a good idea or not, because everyone in my life said no, including my dad, who has such a good relationship with Finnegan now, who said no, and I was so terrified because everyone was saying no. Anyway. So it was Saturday, December 7th, when I was going down to Nanaimo to get Finnegan, and I was so nervous. So I was going to the bank to take out $500 in cash to get this dog, and Dakota was so angry with me because I was going to get this dog, and he didn't think that I was ready, and we weren't ready because we didn't have our own place, and like where would anyway, so I went to the bank, and my car broke down, and it was smoking and steaming, and I literally had a mental breakdown, and I was like, this is a sign from the universe that I shouldn't get this dog. So I called Dakota crying and was like, can you please drive me to Nanaimo to go get this dog? And he was so mad at me, like beyond mad at me. So we went to Nanaimo, I had fun. He probably didn't have as much fun as I did, but it was still fun. Went to the mall for a bit, like whatever. So then it was time to leave the mall to go and get Finnegan. And I was shaking with excitement, and I was so nervous. I was like, I'm gonna have a dog. And like, so I went to Nanaimo and I got him, and he was so small and so tiny, and he was so scared of me at first. He didn't even come to me, he went straight to Dakota for whatever reason, I don't know, but hi. I got him, and I literally was like, my heart just melted. I was like, look, this is mine. Well, it's not mine, it's Dakota's isn't mine, but like, I made my own money to pay for it. Like, I made this all happen. So then I was ecstatic, and no one realized how ecstatic I was, but I was so excited. So I brought him home, and it was just the best thing in the whole world. I was so happy that I did it. And once like my family kind of got over it and was like okay with it, and they had all met him, even though everyone said no, don't get him, after they met him, they had like an hour or two with him, they loved him, and everyone loves him now. And I don't know, he's just my buddy, and everyone knows that if I'm going somewhere, Finnegan, and possibly Copper, depending what he's doing with Dakota, Finnegan will be there if he's allowed. If I'm going to the mall, obviously, or like whatever, but Finnegan's there. We will be together, and we're best friends, and I love him so much. But that's the story of how I got Finnegan. So a little bit bumpy, a little bit crazy. I never thought that like I just knew that when I first saw that picture of Finnegan, or like the dog that like the breeder had taken of him, I was like cutie. Aww. And then when she messaged me back, I was like, can you say fate? Fate, 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 fate. Anyway, so that's the story of how I got Finnegan. Well, that's the story of how I got little Finnegan. Mwah. And I hope you enjoyed. Mwah. Well, now you all know the story, the real story, and the long version of the story. How I got Finnegan, the obstacles I overcame to get Finnegan. Anyway, so make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week. Okay, thanks, bye!